You were born beneath carved beams and dragon banners, in the shadow of the Ming dynasty's imperial palace, 1340 AD. From your very first breath, you belonged not to yourself but to a world of suspicion. Your mother was no empress, only a concubine. Not the emperor's favorite, but beautiful enough to be envied, hated, and watched. In the Forbidden City, you learned the laws before you could read: stay silent, bow deeper than anyone else, and never trust a smile. At 8, you discovered a truth that should have been a crown but instead was a curse: the emperor was your father. Yet he was father to dozens. Sons and daughters scattered like chess pieces across the palace grounds. Your title, Child of the Son of Heaven, meant little more than being marked for envy and treachery. You had already seen jealousy drip like poison. One winter morning, you and your mother knelt in the icy courtyard, accused of murder. A rival concubine claimed she had poisoned a consort's tea. The emperor's mother demanded blood. The executioner's blade hovered, ready to erase your existence. You were 9, clutching your mother's trembling hand, the stone cold against your knees. At the last breath, a servant girl confessed she had seen your mother nowhere near the tea. The sword was lowered, but the lesson was seared into your bones: survival in the Forbidden City was survival on glass, every step cutting, every breath dangerous. Less than a year later, it happened again. This time the charge was sorcery, whispers that your mother had cursed the emperor's health. Once more, you were dragged into the courtyard, knees pressed into cruel stone. Another loyal maid spoke for you, swearing your innocence. Twice reprieved. Twice branded with the knowledge that mercy was only borrowed time. And yet, you clung to something beyond fear. At 12, you discovered your one sanctuary: learning. Poetry, history, calligraphy, your brush moved like air itself. Even your weary old tutors marveled. They begged the emperor to send you to the Imperial Academy, the highest school in the empire. And for the first time, your father looked at you not as a shadow but as a flame. When you are 14, he decreed, you will go. That night you dreamed, not of gold or silk, but of courtyards filled with books, of building a life of your own. But dreams did not belong to daughters of concubines. They belonged to sons of power. The moment word spread, whispers followed. Jewelry discovered in your chambers. Servants coaxed into saying you mocked the emperor's mother. Torn scrolls planted among your lessons. Each rumor bloomed like mold, smothering your future. Then, weeks before your 14th birthday, the Academy's invitation vanished. Withdrawn. No explanation. In the shadows you learned the truth: you were now old enough to be dressed in silk and sent away, not to study, but to some aging noble as a political offering. You shrank from open halls. Fear pressed against your chest like a stone. Until the day a silk trader arrived from the southern provinces, a man with kind eyes and soft words. He claimed to know your mother's family before the palace swallowed her. He promised escape. Europe, he said, cities of white marble, libraries larger than the Forbidden City itself, where women could walk freely, own land, teach. He painted freedom as if he had bottled the sky itself. Your mother's hands shook when she listened. She had lived and died within the emperor's cage. She would not let you rot in it, too. Quietly she sold the few treasures she still possessed: hairpins, embroidered sashes, even secret tokens your father had given her. She pressed the coins into the trader's hands. Go, she whispered. Be more than this prison allows. So one moonless night you slipped past the guards. For the first time, you smelled the city beyond the walls: salt from the sea, smoke from the hearths, roasted chestnuts in the street. You almost believed you were free. The journey to the port stretched over days. The trader filled your ears with visions: European women unbound by rank or foot binding, voices echoing in lecture halls, scrolls unrolled in libraries vaster than temples. You clung to each word as if it were rope pulling you from the quicksand of your birth. Then the ship appeared. Not a proud merchant vessel, but a blackened hulk, its sails patched and frayed. You hesitated at the gangplank. His hand pressed against your back, gentle, persuasive. It's safer aboard, he whispered. But inside, safety dissolved. The belly of the ship stank of sickness and despair. Boys and girls huddled in darkness, wrists shackled, eyes hollow. The trader's voice, once honey, turned to iron. He counted silver coins into the captain's palm. No warmth, no farewell. That was the moment you understood, you were not being carried to freedom. You were cargo. A commodity. Just as your mother had been traded into the palace, now you were sold across the sea. But this time, no silks, no whispers of rescue, only an auction block waiting in a foreign land. The city lights dwindled behind you as the ship creaked into the black water. Somewhere far away, your mother still sat in her cage, believing you had escaped. You pressed your forehead against the cold wood of the hull. Salt and fear burned your tongue. You had always known your life was not yours to keep. You just had not realized how far the world's hands could reach to take it from you.